Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with the next moveset guide for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. Of course, if you guys want to check out any of my previous moveset guides, there's a playlist down below. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Those links are down below. I'll be streaming Ultra Sun and Moon a lot in the week to come. And competitive, showdown, in-game, whatever. Anyway, we're going to be talking about Dawn Wings Necrozma. This is the Lunala form of Necrozma. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be very honest with you. While it did get higher special attack, it got less HP and less speed. And the speed is pretty big, honestly. One of Lunala's main things over Dawn Wings, or one of Lunala's main things in general, was the fact that it had speed tier faster than Pokemon like Rayquaza, so it can check +1 Rayquaza with Ice Beam if you were Scarf. It had Shadow Shield, so at full HP it could take hits from like even a boosted Xerneas and whatnot. This thing does have Prism Armor, which is, you know, good in its own right, but Shadow Shield was just better. Though obviously you had to be at full HP, but it was good for checking Pokemon like Xerneas and whatnot. And of course, Dawn Wings Necrozma did lose out on Ice Beam, which is pretty big. But let's get into this anyway. So, while Lunala does exceed over it as a revenge killer and even like as a Z of Gnosis Pokemon, this one in itself is pretty cool just with its monstrous base 157 special attack. So the first set we have is Calm Mind. Now, while you're using Calm Mind Lunala, I think that its best way to actually shine as a Calm Mind user is on Sticky Web. We're running Timid Nature because we're able to outspeed Marshadow with Sticky Web up, which is pretty important. But I do believe that if you want to use a Calm Mind offensive one, if you're not using Lunala over this, you want to use Timid and you want to use it on Sticky Web. I think that's just his best way to shine. So Smeargle, it does function really well in the Uber's tier. Sticky Web is good. And this mon is really good, you know, being a spin blocker as well as the fact that it hits so hard. So Calm Mind Moongeist Beam. With Lunalium Z, it becomes Menacing Moonrays. And this is a 200 base power ghost type attack, so it's a nuke. You have Heat Wave and Psyshock. Now, Heat Wave can be traded for Power Gem. Power Gem would allow you to have that 4 times effective hit on Ho-Oh, but more importantly, being able to hit Yveltal for super effective damage. So to Calm Mind boost, you can do a bit of damage to Yveltal. After Rocks, if it is offensive, it will go down to a boosted attack. Defensive, well, watch out for Sucker Punch and whatnot, but with Prism Armor, you are 4 times weak to it, but still, just watch out for like a Life Orb Sucker Punch. But Psyshock is used over Photon Geyser, even though Photon Geyser is that 100 base power attack that either is physical or special depending on your EV spread. And obviously, in this case, because the special attack is higher, it would be a special attack. Psyshock is used just because Chansey and Blissey are used in the tier, either Blissey with Shell or Violet Chansey. So you want to have that better way of dealing with that. This is also good for beating opposing Calm Mind Pokemon, like Calm Mind Arceus. You're really bulky. You have base 127 special defense. So you out Calm Mind it, and then Psyshock does hit it on the physical side. Another cool thing about this Pokemon is because it is a ghost type, it's not trapped by Shadow Tag. So if Gengar comes in to try and revenge kill you with Shadow Ball, you can switch out because it does have Shadow Tag. Mega Gengar, obviously. So, but yeah, Psyshock is used over Photon Geyser just because it hits on the physical defense, and that's better for Chansey and Blissey. But yeah, like I said, I would use this one on Sticky Web specifically. I think that this Pokemon functions best on Sticky Web, at least as like a physical, just a full-on Calm Mind attacker. And as for like a Choice Scarf, I wouldn't really use that on this Pokemon. Use Lunala, it's better, it has Ice Beam in its arsenal. Let's talk about Stealth Rock Calm Mind though. This is pretty cool. I want to give a shout out to Jabaku who actually brought this set to my attention, but I think MV also showed me a set like this. But it's Calm Mind Moongeist Beam, Stealth Rock Psyshock, Lunalium Z, and then we have 2 other options being Power Gem and Heat Wave. By the way, back over here, Heat Wave helps you hit Ferrothorn for the KO, Scizor, Skarmory, Smacking Celesteela, Pokemon like that for that KO. So pretty cool for steel types and whatnot. Anyway, also is a good neutral hit versus Lunala. I mean, oh, not Lunala, but Yveltal anyway. So Calm Mind Stealth Rock is pretty cool because if you're running Modest Nature, this Pokemon has the ability to pretty much deal with everything that controls hazards in the tier. So unless your name is Arceus Dark, this Pokemon beats Hazard Control Arceus Fairy, Arceus Water, Giratina with Defog, pretty much Pokemon like that. Also functions as a spin blocker, so it can obviously block the spin from Excadrill if you are worried about that. But the idea of this set is you set up Stealth Rock, and when something tries to defog on you, like if you're Calm Mind boosted, you hit them with your Z move from Moongeist Beam, you're going to do a ton of damage to them. Basically, you prevent them from defogging while keeping up your rock. So it's a rocker that beats the defoggers. Obviously, you do have to watch out for Toxic, but they're not going to appreciate the boosted Z move. Psyshock is usually the move, but Power Gem again allows you to deal with Ho, as well as giving that hit versus a Veltal, and I do have Heat Wave as well. But it's pretty cool. I know it easily 2-hit KOs support Arceus from Z into Moongeist Beam, so I have to recover. They can't recover it off basically, so it easily 2-hit KOs them. So if they do want to defog, they either have to choose, okay, do they defog, do they toxic you, or are they going to go down? So in this sense, I think this set should be respected. And I think he also said those words, but I agree completely. I feel like this set should be respected. You could go for Timid Nature. Timid Nature, again, abuses Sticky Web better if you are using it on webs. But, I mean, if you are using it playing webs, typically Smeargle can set up Stealth Rock, or there's Groudon forms that can set up Stealth Rock as well. This is a cool option, though. It does block that Rapid Spin, as I did say, and it has really good bulk. So, again, the idea of this set is you set up rocks and you beat the defoggers. Your +1Z deals with Giratina, it deals with the Arceus defoggers, and it pretty much just prevents defog. So it's a really cool set. Just Calm Mind, Stealth Rock, and it can work. So we have a few other options here, and then I'm gonna go talk about Lunala versus this Pokemon. So a few other options it has. Trick Room. I don't know. It's like, I want to compare it to Dialga. Like, Dialga has the ability, it has great resistances, right, because of its typing. It can Trick Room up and use like 3 attacks, like Flash Cannon because it hits Fairy types in the tier, Draco, and it can use Dragonium Z as well. Dragonium Z, and then your last move can be Fire Blast, hit Steel types. So this is like a Trick Room Dialga set, right? So Lunala can, in theory, do a full-on set like that, Trick Room, then 3 attacks, and it'd be like the attacks you see here. But I just feel like it doesn't have the same coverage as Dialga, specifically missing out on Dark types. It not having Focus Blast, and that's one thing that that Lunala has over it. That's another thing that Lunala has over it. Also, another thing is, in its moveset, it doesn't have Hypnosis anymore. So it can't run like a Z Hypnosis set to actually give it like a boost to do that. Like, and again, like, it does have base 113 attack, but you're not going to want to use Swords Dance on this Pokemon. You're better off using that for the Duskmane Necrozma, the Solgaleo form. I don't know, like, in theory, like, it could work, and you could maybe use it to bluff Ultra Necrozma. Like, you send this thing out and they think you're going to be Ultra Necrozma, and you bluff like the Swords Dance set, and you become Swords Dance Ultra Necrozma, and they're thinking that you are a Calm Mind Ultra Necrozma. But in that case, I don't know, like, Trick Room is really difficult, I feel, to use, unless you want to use Trick Room Stealth Rock, or maybe like a Focus Sash sort of anti-lead type of user. But even then, I don't know if you would want to use this for that, but it is an option. Earth Power gives you an option. I mean, it hits super effective against Groudon, hits Dialga, Pokemon like that, Diancie, Mega Diancie in the tier, but Heatran as well. But for the most part, your Moongeist Beam just hits so hard anyway, there's no point in having this coverage. Like, if you use this, what other 2 attacks do you use? Psyshock, Moongeist Beam, then you miss out on a Veltal anyway. And you also just don't have that. Like, you're better off hitting Steel types with Heat Wave than Earth Power, because like I said, again, Moongeist Beam is just going to hurt so hard, especially if you have the Lunalium Z. Photon Geyser is, you know, a really cool attack that it does have. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, it's dependent on which attack stat is higher, right? If your special attack stat is higher, it becomes a special move at 100 base power. If your attack stat is higher, it becomes a physical move with 100 base power. But again, Psyshock is just so much better. Being able to hit blobs in particular, as well as calm minding Pokemon, and being able to, in theory, beating them is really nice in this case. So it's usually better. And then Moonlight is also an option. Moonlight can work with Calm Mind, maybe for like a more support set. I think if I was using Moonlight, I'd maybe save it again for an Ultra Necrozma form. I'm not talking about that form in particular. We'll have a video separate for that Pokemon in itself. But if I was using that, I would use it for that form. But I was thinking about a few movesets like Atomize, Rock Polish, but you just don't have the moveset to abuse it. And that's what it really comes down to. And that's why, if you are using a Scarf set, I would rather use Lunala. Obviously, you're weaker, but you have better HP, and you actually have Ice Beam to hit Yveltal and Rayquaza, and you Revenge Kill them, and you have Focus Blast to hit Tyranitar and Arceus Dark, so Pokemon who would otherwise wall you. So that's just something that Lunala does have over it. All in all, though, I think that this set should be respected, the Stealth Rock Calm mindset, because unless your name is Arceus Dark, you're not a defogger that beats this, at least like can't come in on it freely, basically. So set should be respected, and yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts. Stored power, I mentioned, but it's just so passive. Why use that when you can use Psyshock or whatnot? Signal Beam for Dark types, again, just so weak. Maybe like a Buggy Signal Beam can be used. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this Pokemon in particular, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye, friends. Also, yeah, before I say goodbye, I'll have the showcase up later today at, you know, the usual time. So expect me to use this Pokemon. Hopefully it does as good as Dawn Main, or Dusk Main, excuse me, Solgaleo. I really am hoping that it does that well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this Pokemon. I'll see you guys next time. Check out the playlist down below. Goodbye, friends.